Hey everybody, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make the perfect scrap yarn stitch. So this crochet stitch is perfect for multiple colors because you're going to be changing every row, and the way the stitch is done, it kind of bleeds into the next, and one is shorter than the other, so it really helps with that bleeding effect. And I recommend using a color wheel. You can find one on the internet. Just look up color wheel and using that to really blend your colors. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be using these two separate colors just so I can show you the changing of the colors. And also I'm going to be using a 5mm hook or a size H hook for the US. But again, it's just for this tutorial. With any stitch, you can always use whatever size hook that the yarn you're using recommends. The multiples of this stitch are 6 plus 3. And what that means is that you're going to be chaining in multiples of 6. So you'll do 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 until you've reached your desired width. And once you have, you'll add that plus 3, so 3 more chains, and you'll be ready to begin row 1. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to be using this color first, and I'm going to go ahead and do my multiples of 6. Okay, so I've done my multiples of 6. Now I want to do those plus 3, and I'm ready to begin row 1. For row 1, you want to do a double crochet in the 6th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to put a double crochet in that 6th chain from the hook. Now this is where you'll chain 1, and you're going to double crochet in that same stitch. And now you're going to repeat that 3 more times. Chain 1, double crochet in that same stitch. Chain 1, double crochet in that same stitch. And do that 1 more time. Chain 1 and double crochet into that same stitch. You should have 4 chain 1 spaces and 5 double crochets. After that, you want to skip 6 stitches and then double crochet in the next. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in the 6th stitch over, put a double crochet. And that's going to be your repeat for the row. You're going to chain 1 and do a double crochet in that same stitch. And you're going to do that again and again for so at least 3 more times. So 3 more times after the initial time. So you'll be doing this a total of 4 times, and that will give you 5 double crochets and 4 chain 1 spaces in between. Then you'll, without chaining, just move over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in the 6th chain over, you're going to put a double crochet and then chain 1. And then you repeat that 3 more times. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet, chain 1, giving you 5 double crochets and 4 chain 1 spaces. You want to repeat this until the end of the row where you should have 3 chains left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and I will, because where my 6th chain is, it leaves me 3 chains left. So again, double crochet, chain 1, and then repeat that 3 more times. And then to end your row, you're going to double crochet in the last chain. So skip the first 2 stitches and double crochet in that very last stitch. And I did multiples of 6 4 times, and that's how many shells I got. So that ends row 1. Okay. Okay, for row 2, we're going to be changing our colors. I'm just going to be slipping in my new color into my hook. Now, if I was doing multiple colors, I would cut my previous color. So for row 2, you want to chain 1 and turn. You're going to be putting a single crochet in this very first double crochet of the row, and then you're going to single crochet. We're going to be using these chain 1 spaces, so you're going to be going into that very first chain 1 space, do a single crochet, then chain 3, move to the next chain 1 space and put a single crochet, and then again chain 3. Then you move over to the next chain 1 space and single crochet and chain 3, and then you'll do it again for your last chain 1 space as well. So you do your 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll have 4 single crochets with 1, 2, 3 chain 3 spaces. So without chaining, you move right to the next chain 1 space and do a single crochet and chain 3. Then move to the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 3. Then move to the next chain 1 space and chain 3. And then this is the last one here, single crochet and don't chain. You just move over to the next one and single crochet in that chain 1 space, then chain 3. And you're going to repeat this for the remainder of your shells for this row. And I'm going to try to get to the end here so I can tell you how to end this. So at the very beginning we skipped, very first row we skipped over 6, and it creates this chain here on the end. So I'm going to single crochet in the very last space, chain 1 space, and then without chaining on the top of this beginning chain, I'm going to put a single crochet, and that will end row 2. And always with this, when I use chains, I had learned in the past to always have a foundation row or use a bigger size hook to create this chain, especially if you're working with shells or a lot of stitches in one stitch. It'll always do this. It's always best when doing a stitch like this to have a base row. So for row 3, we're going to be changing our yarn again. You'll be changing every row. Okay, so this is going to be a very easy 2-row repeat. I don't want to cut this tutorial yarn, so I'm just going to bring it up, I guess, over here. Switch it over. So this is going to be a 2-row repeat, and last row, row 2, it's going to be the first row of the repeat. And now we're going to be making this shell again, but using our middle chain 3 to create it. And row 3 is basically going to be making our shells again, but I'll show you what stitches to use. So at the beginning of row 3, you're going to chain 3 with your new color and turn. So for this row, we'll be using the little chain 3 spaces to create our new shells. And we're going to be skipping these first 2, the first and the last. We're only be using this middle one. So in this middle chain 3 space, we're going to be making those shells again. These shells that we did from the first row. So you're going to put a double crochet, chain 1 into that very the very middle chain 3 space, and then you're going to repeat that 3 more times, just like we did before. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet, and not chain 1. We have our 5 double crochets and our 4 chain 1 spaces. And then we're going to move over. We're going to skip this next chain 3 space and the next chain 3 space here. We're just going to move right on over to our next shell and our middle chain 3 space, and you're going to put your double crochet chain 1 into that. Then you're going to repeat again that double crochet chain 1 3 more times. Till we get that shell. And we're going to repeat this for the rest of the row. I'm going to keep doing our shell stitches worked in that middle chain 3 space. So just do your double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1. And if you change colors up the color wheel like I was telling you before, this can really look amazing. You could do a whole scrap yarn blanket like that. So I'm getting to my last one here. Okay, so that's my last shell. And you see how it is in front of it and how it can meld on one way, and then the other side it looks like this. Looks pretty cool, I think. So at the end of your row, you want to double crochet in that last single crochet of the row. And then again, you want to pick back up your other color, which of course I'm going to bring over here. This will be the repeat of row 2 again. It's just a chain 1, turn, and putting that single crochet in that very first double crochet there, and then just single crocheting in that first chain 1 space, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 3, and then single crochet in that last chain 1 space. And then you're going to be moving right over to the next shell. So single crochet in your first chain 1 space and chain 3. And you're going to continue this down the row, and then when you get back up to your other row, it'll be working your shells in that middle chain 3 space here. And I recommend changing your color like this every other row. I mean, every row, but every row being a different color in the color wheel, it would look really awesome. But it's up to you. It's a really awesome stitch to use with multiple colors, and I really hope that you'll give it a try. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this tutorial, please don't forget to like and share and comment. It helps me out so much. Also, don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. I post once a week on Sunday. I'm also very active on Facebook. I share other people's free patterns, not just my own. Also, I am on Pinterest, and I have a group page where I also share the designer. Well, the designers share themselves on that board. So if you're looking for a good pattern source, feel free to check that out. And that's it, guys. Thank you so very much for watching.